Hi, sweetie. How are you doing today? You're okay. You're not too bad. I'm good, thank you. No, I'm really good. Thank you for asking. So I can just see from your referral form that your agent has referred you across to us today to have your color season assessed. Is that correct? Wonderful. Okay. Have you had your color season taken before? Is this something you're aware of? Is it something you've heard of? You've heard little bits. Okay, wonderful. Okay, what I will do today then is hopefully just build on that knowledge, and we'll be able to just kind of work through what colors suit you. So some of this you may already be aware of, but we can just kind of go through everything again and just kind of refresh. Would that be okay for you? Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Now we do have a lot of actresses, we have a lot of models come in, and they often say that they like a particular set of colors and they're very steadfast on those colors, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you that you can't wear those colors or that I think you don't suit them. Really, my role today is to open up your eyes to the different variations of colors. So the color spectrum is so vast that maybe if you like purples, perhaps there's a little bit of a better shade for you, but still keeping within that purple realm. Yeah, absolutely. So if you really love blue, you can continue to wear blue, of course, but let's delve a little bit further into that blue category for you, okay? Wonderful. Okay, so I will just start off by telling you a little bit about what the color season approach is, but if it's okay with you, what I'd like to do is just kind of start assessing your hair, assessing your skin tone, your eye color. Beautiful. Okay, let me have a look. Beautiful. So natural hair color. It is. Okay. Yeah, so you go a little bit darker in winter, a little bit lighter in summer. Okay. So what the color season system essentially is it's a personal styling approach that essentially will categorize you into one of 4 seasonal groups, okay? So of course we have spring, we have summer, we have autumn, and we have winter, okay? And the system will group you based on the undertones in your skin. It will group you based on the hues and tones in your natural hair. And it also looks at the tones within your eyes as well. And each season is associated with a specific palette of colors. So those colors are designed to essentially enhance your natural features and create balance and harmony. Does that make a little bit of sense? Yeah, wonderful. So for instance, cooler seasons such as summer and winter are typically matched with shades that have a little bit of blue or a little bit of a cooler undertone, okay? Whereas the warmer seasons, such as spring and autumn, they are typically complemented more by golden or earthy tones, so tones that have a little bit more warmth in them. Yeah, really important to emphasize, like I just did before, this is a system here to aid you. It's not restrictive. Like I said, if you like a particular color, you're absolutely fine to continue wearing that, of course. But what we want to do is just open up that palette and explore potential shades within that color that will make you maybe feel even more beautiful. Yeah, okay. Wonderful. I do say to a lot of my clients as well that the chances are if you are drawn to cooler colors, you're probably a cooler season. If you're drawn to the warmer colors and you feel like those colors really bring out the best in you, you're probably a warmer season. I do tend to find that does correlate, okay? sweetie. So natural hair color, you said. Okay. Okay. And when you were young, same hair color, a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. Okay. And texture wise, is this your natural texture? Okay. Sometimes I do say that texture can play a slight role in determining season, but typically it's not a big factor. But I do just like to know that, because to assess your kiwi style when you next come in, and that is something that we do really take into consideration for that. Okay. All right, so it's a little bit darker on the ends. Yeah, okay. And there's some sort of golden tones. Yeah, I would say predominantly probably cool, but I think there's a little bit of warmth there just trickling through. Okay, let me see your eyes. Beautiful. So no contact lenses, no colored lenses. No, not at all. Okay, beautiful eye color. Okay. It does sometimes, so sometimes clear lenses will have a little bit of a blue tint, so I do just like to make sure. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, all right. And then skin tone, let me have a look. If you just flip your wrists like that for me, sweetie, thank you. Yeah, we've got the warmth there, haven't we? Okay, you can pop your wrist down. Okay, so we're going to start testing some fabric swatches, okay? These are going to be a variation of different colors, and then within that color, as I said before, there will be cooler tones and there'll be warmer tones, and there'll be some kind of nestled in between, okay? What we're looking for, sweetie, when we're doing this task is we're looking to see what tones are bringing life into your face, okay? What tones are making you look balanced? What tones are making you look harmonious? And then we want to be looking actually what tones are emphasizing maybe the redness or the purple tones in your skin, and maybe draining the life from you, okay? So we want you to be looking, of course, as healthy and as vibrant as you should, and some colors will help to do that better than others, okay? Beautiful. Once we've established your color season, I will be further subcategorizing you as well, okay? Then I'll be showing you some pictures of colors that will suit you. I will bring some clothing examples in for you as well. I'll also offer you some guidance with regard to your hair color, and we can potentially explore the addition of some lowlights, some highlights, or maybe some complete color changes, okay? Yeah, wonderful. So let's start with the swatches. If you're able to just take your hair up, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so we just want to make sure everything is up. So everything, even the little kind of, the little baby hairs there, yeah, just brush that back, beautiful. Yeah, we just don't want anything distracting us from those color swatches. Okay, wonderful. Are you comfortable in that chair? Yeah, beautiful. So let's start off by looking at these two colors. So we have a gold and we have a silver, okay? Yeah. Okay. So the silver is a cooler tone. Yeah, I agree. Tell me what you're seeing when you do. Yeah, absolutely. It does. It's bringing out a little bit of that darkness under the eye, isn't it? Okay. And we're going to contrast it with that. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So just to show you, quick comparison. Yeah. And then that. And that. Yeah. It is. So straight away for me, the gold is allowing a little bit of more of that peachiness to come through. This is detracting, okay? Okay. So exactly the same as before. Can you see? Yeah. Okay. And let's contrast that with this. Yeah. So can we see a little bit warmer, a little bit cooler? Okay. And then more of a neutral. Yeah, okay. Let me just do those three in tandem. So we have that. Yep, beautiful. Okay. So tell me what you're seeing with that. Yeah. The warmer tone is bringing out your skin tone a lot better, isn't it? Let's try that again. Yeah, and then, yeah, okay. And ahead with these colors, okay? Stand here. Okay. And that. Yeah, let's just contrast back to that. Yeah, I absolutely agree. That is a really good color for you, isn't it? That pastel. Okay. And then let's just look at the undertone of that. No, completely agree. And then that. Yeah, okay. So far, gravitating to the warmer tones, absolutely. Okay. Let's try this. Yeah. And that, just to quickly contrast that as well so you can see. So really, really cool. Yeah. And then that, which is a lot more of a cooler shade. So that would be more neutral. And then you can see when we flip. Yeah. Absolutely. I do think that we can see that difference. And then contrast with that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what we're seeing, and I just want to hold that there just for one moment. So what I want you to do is just look at the color of your eyes with this, with that. So contrast that with that. Yeah. So the warmer variation is bringing a little bit more of that golden hue in your eyes out for sure. And just contrast with that cooler tone. Yep. And that. Out of curiosity, which one of these would you have chosen? Okay. Yeah, the warmer. Okay. Yeah, as I said, it does tend to correlate. That is a beautiful shade, isn't it, on you? absolutely beautiful. Okay. Just a few variations of yellow. Okay. Warm. Yeah, absolutely. And then I'd say more neutral. Okay. Warm. And then let's contrast. Let's flip. Yeah. So again, you can see that the warmth in this one, so it's more of a sort of peachy yellow. This is something that when we look at your eye color, when we look at your skin tone, it's just creating that harmonious balance. It's not drawing the eyes towards your eyes. It's not drawing the eyes towards a particular feature. It's really allowing us to kind of just see you as one image rather than anything in kind of isolation. Okay. Let's try these ones. Okay. In contrast, this slightly more cool. No. This one is actually, I would say it's bringing out the gray around your eyes as well, which actually, when we completely take it away, you can't even notice that gray. So it's really, I'll just pop that there. It's really injecting that gray, isn't it? What I'll just do as well, sweeties, we'll just pop a little bit of that through. And can you see how just adding a little bit of that instantly takes away that grayness? Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look. Just want to test this as well. Again, because I'm just wondering whether a neutral. No. So for some people, I do tend to find that even though they can maybe be a warmer season, there's a lot of neutrals that also work for them. But I would actually say with you, I don't think the neutrals are in any way working in the same way that those warm colors do. Can you see? So neutral, and then this has a lot more warmth there. And can you see? Yeah, it does. I do think this is a really good color for you out of all the ones we've tried. Do you own any of this color? You do? Okay. Again, it is really common that people already have kind of a little bit of an inkling as to what suits them absolutely and what season they are. Okay, let me just try. Just want to try this chocolate color there. No, it's like a cooler chocolate. This is a warmer chocolate, much warmer. Yeah, no, you're definitely the warm, aren't you? Okay, yeah, wonderful. Just going to get out my green face swatches. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to compare this next to your face, sweetie. Yeah, contrast that. Let me see. And then we go there to there. Yeah. and that. Yeah. So some colors, as I said, can have a little bit of a mixture. So it can have a little bit of a coolness, but it can also have a little bit of warmth as well. So more of a neutral, as we described before. But I do think that you are definitely, it's definitely these warmer tones that are just bringing out that color. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Okay, so my preliminary judgment when you walked in was that you were going to be a spring. Okay, so spring, as we said, is a warmer season. Typically springs really suit the warmth. Okay, and with the color swatches, I think we've confirmed that you most definitely are a spring. Okay, you have characteristically very spring-like hair. I know you said when you were younger there was a little bit more warmth in. Yeah, okay. There's still a lot of warmth in now. I do think predominantly you do have a warmer hair color. Yeah, no, absolutely. So people sometimes just assume in order to have a kind of warm color, they need to have that rich redness. But no, you can have a slight golden hue. Absolutely. Yeah, more of that kind of goldeny blonde, I would say. And your eyes, they have that warmth. They have that kind of hazily green. Yeah, which again is characteristically warm, characteristically spring. Sometimes if you have that really kind of warm eye color, you can be an autumn, but because your undertone of your skin is slightly warm but not too warm, and because your hair color is more of a light golden blonde, you're definitely more of a spring. Okay, all right. So what I want to do is, first of all, show you an example of a spring, okay? Actually, when you came in, I did think you had a look of this lady, so let me show you this particular example. Let me see. Okay, so this is, of course, Amanda Seyfried, and you can see this is a really good picture of a spring in their element. So a spring wearing something that actually complements them really well, and then in contrast, a spring wearing something that maybe doesn't complement them to the same extent. Okay, so we can see here Amanda is looking wonderful there. She has that peaches and cream undertone. She also has a slight green tint to her eyes, and she has that kind of golden hue with her hair color as well. And you can see that she looks a lot softer when she's in more pastel colors. So you can see here with her makeup, it's softer. We have kind of the pink, the peach. Yeah. And you can see in contrast here where she has this really dark lipstick shade. It does. I would describe it as just, it looks a little bit off. Of course, she looks beautiful in both photographs, but you can see that this one here is where she's really balanced, where she's harmonious. Absolutely. This kind of drains a little bit of color from her. Okay. Let me show you some other examples. Okay, so these are some other examples. So you can see with these two ladies here. Yeah. So again, we have this kind of peachy undertone. Yep, and then we have this slight kind of golden tint to the hair as well, which again is something that you have. Yeah, they are. So in this photograph, I would say they're more in their season. They're more balanced in these kind of very sort of fresh-faced makeup. Very delicate, very soft, okay? I do think with Elsa, the lip shade may be slightly out of her color season, but not by too much. I do still think this looks harmonious for her, but particularly Elle on that one you can see. Yeah, okay. I just want to show you as well this for a moment, because this is a really good kind of example. So when we work on color analysis, what we also do, as I briefly mentioned before, is we subcategorize you. So I'm going to show you this, and the spring subcategories are bright spring, we have true spring, and then we have a light spring. Now I'm going to categorize you as being a light spring, okay? So essentially this means there's very low contrast between your hair, your eyes, and your skin tone, okay? So Amanda is a perfect example of that. Let's bring her up again. Can you see? Yeah. So she would be a light spring as well, for sure. Okay. I'll just show you I'll show you in one of my books as well. Okay. So this is your spring color palette. This is the general spring color palette. Light springs do typically suit more of the softer colors within this. I will show you what I mean in a second. But I do just want to show you these two ladies as well, because again, they are really good examples of spring, but they do show how you can actually have variation. Exactly. So one spring will not necessarily look like another spring. So this lady here is a spring with vivid red hair. She would look especially good in her palette's brightest colors, okay? Whereas here, this lady is a light spring, and she would look a lot better and a lot more harmonious in more of these softer colors within the spring palette. So more of those kind of light pastels, more of those sort of light honeys. Yeah, okay. Because you can see here within spring, there are some very bright colors, okay, which are more suited towards springs that have a little bit more warmth and a little bit more depth, okay, in their contrast and in their features. But we can see again, you probably do again have quite similar features to this lady, and we would pop this lady in colors like this. She would look beautiful, and you would look beautiful in these kind of ivories, that very soft ivory. And I think this kind of light warm beige, these very soft browns. Absolutely. So I know you do like the blue, so absolutely I would say these type of blues. I probably wouldn't say that these would be the most harmonious on you. I'm sure you would still look beautiful, but these ones, particularly this kind of corally color, okay? So let me show you. So this would be perfect along with that. Okay, and then with regard to blue, these would be really beautiful on you. These two kind of very soft, light pastels, okay? Show that. Yeah, and that one. Yeah. And then with regard to pink, you would look beautiful in these colors, okay? So can you see that kind of pastel, a little bit peachier, a little bit warmer, and when we hold that up to your skin, that is perfect. And then you can see it really brings out that beauty, doesn't it, in your skin tone? Yeah, okay. Just want to show you another pastel as well. So this is really beautiful, soft lilac. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, perfect. Now, what I want to do is focus a little bit on your hair color. I know that your agent has kind of said they're really open to trying a new hair color with you, maybe something something a little bit softer, a little bit more harmonious for you. That being said, I do think you have a really beautiful hair color as it is. And light springs typically do look a little bit softer, a little bit more complemented in more of a golden hue. So I do think we should keep that. What I would be recommending and what I think will really bring out your beauty is adding a little bit more warmth, okay? So especially here, when I'll just take this cap, I'll have this section down there. That is where I think the sun has kind of warmed you up a little bit, and you can just see those beautiful gold rich tones, and that is what I think is really balanced for you, in contrast to when you have a little bit too much of that section of the hair, which is a little bit cooler. It doesn't warm your skin up the same way. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so I just want to show you this hair swatch. So this swatch, and I'll show you with this wig, would be far too warm. Can you see how even though it's got that warmth, it's just too dark for you? And it's just kind of, it's almost drowning your skin tone a little bit, isn't it? Okay. Whereas when we contrast it with this, can you see you've got that warmth, but it's not too dark, so it's really harmonious and it's working.